Of course, right now we turn our attention to the Middle East, where a joint U.S. and Israeli strike on Iran has killed Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Now, the attack has pushed the region to the brink of wider conflict and sent shockwaves through the global energy markets. Now, for oil-producing nations like Nigeria, this escalation is more than a distant geopolitical crisis, with the economy heavily reliant on oil revenues and already under fiscal strain. Now, volatility in global prices could carry direct consequences for national stability. In this segment, we'll explore the geopolitical implication of the strike and what it means for countries whose economies depend on oil. Well, joining me to discuss this now is Senator Yusuf Yusuf. He's an economist and lawmaker in the Ninth Assembly. Well, thank you for joining. I also have Gbolahan Olojede. He's an oil and gas expert. He joins virtually. Gentlemen, thank you for your time.
Much.
All right, great. Let me start with you, Senator Yusuf. First, your reaction. The world woke up to, of course, the announcement and, of course, the follow-up, what I call it, attacks of the allied forces of Israel and America in Iran. And this seems to be escalating. For you, sir, what's your reaction?
Well, thank you very much. My reaction is not a surprising thing. Historically, America has always wanted to see how it can destroy Iran. How it can destroy, not just Iran. It has, gone far in accusing, like the Iraq War, what has happened in Libya, what has happened. So this one is not a surprising thing to me because Iran has stood up, to the challenge of protecting, the rights and privileges of the privileged people in this world. Iran is not just, trying to protect itself alone. Iran today, stand to protect, what is happening in the Palestinian land, what is happening in other, Arab countries. It went to war with Iraq, and all, caused by the American people. So honestly, it's not surprising to me that America has attacked Iran, and it is not surprising to me that, it has actually, killed the supreme leader of Iraqi people, because in the last few months it has also Trump just said that he was the one that stopped Netanyahu from killing the supreme leader of Iran. So it's not surprising to me that America has actually attacked Iran, and it is not surprising to me that Iran too will retaliate. So it's going to, if care is not taken, just as what America say, they'll go on with these attacks for the next 1 month, and I'm sure, the world will not stand alone and look at America, becoming, or Trump becoming an emperor of the world, to see that, he wants to conquer whoever is not in the best interest, whatever is not in the best interest of the American people. This thing is a crude oil war. It has gone into Venezuela. Venezuela has a product that only Iran can provide to it. And this is what is happening today. So it wants to get control of Iran and also to have that substance that the Venezuelan crude will require for its own refining.
All right, Senator Yusuf. All right, Senator Yusuf.
That's the thing.
All right, thank you very much. Your point has been taken. Let me direct the same question to Mr. Gbolahan Olojede, who is an economist. But let's look at the economic implication of this, because right now, from what is being observed, this particular attack has begun to escalate. Right now, we are seeing missiles entering into other Middle Eastern countries. And, I mean, when you look at the role of the Middle East, particularly when it comes to the oil global market, they play a strategic role. There seems to be some sort of economic panic in certain quarters. Is this justified?
Well, the panic is real, and that is because the Middle East, sorry, the Middle East controls a huge supply of the world oil and gas resources. So anything that affects the Middle East will affect the resource that they also control in terms of prices, and we are beginning to see that already. If you take just Iran alone, Iran itself is a major producer of oil. If you pull out Iran's supply from the total world supply, you are creating a supply gap somewhere there. So with Iran alone, there is a challenge. Now, when you compound that with the effect of bombing activities in the entire Middle East, which might also further affect production from that zone, is a calamity for the world also all supply while this war rages, as it were.
All right, thank you very much. We'll go on a quick break. When we return, we'll look at the role of Nigeria, particularly in all of this and other Western countries. I mean, how will this affect us? Stay with us, we'll be right back. You're still watching Politics HQ on News Central Television, and of course, I still have my guest with me, Senator Yusuf Yusuf, a lawmaker within the 9th Assembly, and of course, Mr. Gbolahan Olojede, an oil and gas expert. Gentlemen, thank you for staying with me. Now, I mean, we just have a few minutes left, but I would like us to make the answers just, straight to the point. Senator, I'm coming straight to you. Two questions. The first, now, President Trump described the late leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, as one of the most evil people in history. And he also described the Iranian regime as sick and sinister. He also stated that Iran is a major sponsor of terrorism and has been attacking the U.S. and its allies for nearly 50 years. And for that reason, he vowed that they cannot be the #1 sponsor of or ownership of nuclear weapons. I'd like you to react to that. And then number two, in all of this, as a lawmaker, what would you rather suggest should be the position of a country like Nigeria in all of this?
Well, thank you very much. It is no surprise that, President Trump is saying that, Iran is evilish, is devilish, and what have you. For me, it's a simple question. Why would America become the policeman of the world? What right has it got? We have United Nations, we have Security Council. Why would America unilaterally going to attack, a country, a sovereign country of its own? I don't think, it's right. It's not right at all. So if there's #1 terrorist in the world today, is President Trump. He is the #1 terrorist. He terrorized everybody, commercially, economically, politically, he's terrorizing everyone. We have seen what he did with tariffs, terrorizing all countries of the world. Which terror is worse than that? So as far as I'm concerned, he can say whatever he wants to say. He has his own reason to say so. What he's doing in Iran, everybody knows is economic, and trying to control, the world market or the world production of crude oil. So for me, he is the terrorist that I can see. Coming to the issue of Nigeria, I wish, Nigeria could have expanded or could be able to expand the production base of its crude oil. I think currently it's going for 1 million, 1.4 million, and what have you. So there is no way there won't be any supply gap. So how is the supply gap going to be met? Prices will have to go up. Even in Nigeria, Dangote refinery imports crude oil, and therefore the prices of crude oil, will go up, and also the price of processing of crude oil will go up. The prices of petroleum products will go up. For me, it is a very, very sad story for Nigeria. Even though Nigeria can claim to be exporting, crude oil, to cash on the increase in price, but its own production base, even with what OPEC is saying that it's going to, put in about 400,000, barrels, of crude oil per day. But how can Nigeria expand that without its own expanded, production of crude oil? No investments, are coming to Nigeria in terms of, increasing the production of, oil in this country. So
all right, Senator. I would like to pick up from there and also direct the same question to Mr. Gbolahan Olojede. Do you also think that Nigerians should brace up for a hike, just like what the Senator said, Given what we are seeing, the realities we are seeing in the Middle East, should Nigerians brace up for an hike in increase of crude oil and its products?
Well, it's a double-edged sword. So because we are a crude producer, like Senator said, we are likely to make more money. So even if we remain at the same level of crude production, let's say 1.4 million, so what we got for our 1.4 million before the crisis will be less than what we are going to get in the heat of the crisis, because the price per barrel of oil will go up. So for players in that upstream part in Nigeria, for the government of Nigeria, there will be opportunity to make more money from the crisis. On the flip side, which is why it's a double-edged sword, is that crude is the single largest contributor to the cost profile of a refiner. So as the crude goes up, so will the price of the refined product also go up. So government may make money, upstream players may make more money, but Nigerians may have to bear some brunt in terms of the cost of fuel, as it were.
All right, gentlemen, before, of course, I let you go, Senator, just one final question. Looking at Nigeria's, what I call it, a diplomatic presence globally, and of course, within the African space, many have been asking the question of what significant impact Nigeria can have in all of this. What do you suggest? If you were to advise the president in just one phrase, what would you tell him?
Well, thank you very much. For me to advise Mr. President, what I will tell him is simple. Stand neutral or stand on the right of justice. That is all. There is nothing else Nigeria can do other than either to stand on the side of justice or to be neutral.
So in this context, what do you consider the side of justice?
Well, the side of justice, now imagine, Trump sending somebody to come and kill our president, God forbid. How are we going to react? Is it justice to go into a country, a sovereign country, and kill the leader of that country, by the assumption that, that country, is supporting terrorists? I don't think it's right. That is not the way to change government. The way to change government is to go diplomacy. We have United Nations. Why is America not going through United Nations? Even if the sanctions have been, placed on Iran for a long, long time, let them go to. They are discussing about nuclear. They have not stopped discussing about nuclear. But unilaterally, America or Trump has decided, to attack a sovereign country. For me, that is unjust. Nigeria, should condemn that attitude. For somebody he went to Venezuela, and took over, the president of that country.
All right.
He killed, the president in Iran. Who knows the next thing that he will do? For me, that is injustice.
All right, Senator, thank you so much for your time. Senator Yusuf Yusuf is an economist and also lawmaker within the 9th Assembly. And also, I, of course, have with me Gbolahan Olojede, is an oil and gas expert. Gentlemen, once again, thank you for your time on the program. Well, of course.
Thanks for having us.
All right. This is the beat we'll be able to take tonight. In case you missed out, you can catch up on our YouTube platform. That's at News Central TV. You can also choose to follow us on social media. The handle is there on your screen. You can choose to follow me personally at Dakbo, at Degboye. The opinion of our guest remains theirs and not that of News Central.